Up against C Kinney 66. What is with this hand? Like, aside from the Stone Quarry, we had this exact hand last round. Alright, well, at least we can play a Dauntless Cathar, and we've got a Scry, so we can potentially look for a mountain. But I think this hand is keepable. I'll put you on the bottom. Excellent. My deck is performing admirably. White-black, alright, so we might have to watch out for the Anguished Unmaking that we saw going around. Harvest Hand, deal. Play our Dauntless Castigator, pass the turn, and the next turn we can play our Inspiring Captain if we want to jam through some damage, or we might just, you know, play out a Moorland Drifter and wait on the Captain. Let's see what my opponent plays here. True Faith Sensor, alright. So, considering my opponent is playing a lot of equipments, alright, so next turn I'll probably just play out the Moorland Drifter and not bother with the Captain, just because, like, if I trade for this thing later, I'm fine with that. And getting in for an extra 1 damage right now is really not that exciting. I don't particularly want to trade my Drifter for the hand. Yeah, he might. If he clips this turn, I'm very happy with that. And in that case, I might play the Inspiring Captain next turn and just offer to trade some things. Leaving my opponent with 2 equipments on the board and nothing else. Dead weight. Alright. And a Vessel, sure. Alright, so here I may just Captain and get through, or I can So I can offer to trade for the Harvest Hand, and then, you know, next turn my opponent could potentially crack the Vessel, and then I've got 1 Spirit to his 2. I can Inspiring Captain, trade 2 for 1 if my opponent so chooses. Since he'll be tapped out and won't be able to equip either of his equipment. I do think that's fine. I like having my opponent have no creatures on board and have to sack the Vessel to get some creatures. We'll play the Captain though. We'll jam in an extra point of damage. My opponent is certainly not blocking. And then if they equip the True Faith Sensor, they spend their turn doing that, and I'll definitely trade with Harvest Hand. But my opponent is going to wait and looks like try and crack their Vessel. It's a little unfortunate. So I think I'm just going to jam with everybody. And then if my opponent wants to crack the Vessel and trade a Harvest Hand and a token for my Captain, I'm okay with that. Interesting. Alright, so he just wants to crack the Vessel end of turn and then suit up some of his tokens. or he's got a strength of arms. Alright, well, we'll survive the night. We will survive this night, sir. My opponent still gets to crack his vessel at the end of the turn. And then put some pants on some things. You can make this human soldier kind of ginormous. Hopefully this is the game where I just get to get him with Dance of Devils. We got 4-drop. Yeah, he's a chaplain, sure. Ooh, alright. So here I may offer some trades and just swing in and then play the wolf second main. I mean, it's either that or I can hold up Dance and then threaten to ping a bunch of things when I am able to block. But this chaplain's gonna get huge. I mean, actually, maybe that's a good argument for leaving the captain back, is that even if he puts both of these equipments on the chaplain, then the captain can still block in and trade with it. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm very happy with that, since my opponent's not gaining 3 life. I mean, granted, they get their 2 tokens next turn, but I don't think this is going to work out as well for my opponent as they may have surmised. Can ping some stuff each turn if I want to. I'm just gonna menace up the soldier. Oh, bound by Moon Silver. Sure. That is very good. Very good. True Faith Sensor on the human, sure. So I don't think that I'm gonna block here, since next turn I can do my little dance with the devils and double block and then ping some spirits. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Second. Crack, clue, and leave up Dance with the Devils. Let's see what I draw. Arsonists. Alright. If I attack here and he opts to block, then I could play the Convicted Killer and save the Dance for another turn. If he doesn't block, I can just keep up the Dance, which I think I just want to keep up the Dance and the Captain. There's no reason to just throw this thing away. Especially since he thinks that he can menace up this thing and spend his turn, or part of his turn, equipping this, when I'm going to have some creatures out of nowhere that he does not know about. Or I could do that. spend his mana next turn if he wants to re-equip the other one. So this is going to be a sweet deck to bring in the dual shot against. Card is going to be bonkers. Let's torment Universe. Away the convicted killer. See what we draw. Alright. Play a big dude. And pass turn. I'm not surviving very much longer though. Opponent is gonna whack me over the head for 5 this turn. Possibly more if you've got some pump spells. Sure. Interesting. Opponent's got a 4-drop to play. Maybe a 3-drop. Ox, sure. The Ox seems good against us. Alright, on to the next game. Definitely bringing in dual shot. What else might I want? I mean, I could bring in an emissary, but that seems pretty defensive. He didn't have, the bound by Moonsilver is the only real removal that we saw. Could bring in Hope Against Hope, and just rely on like a bunch of my little dudes to pump up something to get through damage. Doesn't seem like a great plan though. Survive the night. Using this to make my creatures win combat didn't feel all that great. But it is nice considering he does have some combat tricks to just be able to save my dudes out of nowhere. I think I just want to go aggressive though and just turn my guys sideways and trade where I can. Senseless Rage actually might be fine, but what would I take out over it? The Wickerich didn't match up well against a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'll bring in a Rage. Take out the Witch. Yes, I would love to play first. Ick. Alright, we'll keep this. Obviously, if we'd hit planes next turn, it's great for us, but if we hit a land in the next couple of draw steps, we're still happy to be playing Convicted Killers. Perfect. Alright, now we just need to fade a land. Sure. This is gonna feel good. This is gonna feel so good. No! Alright, well, we did step 1 wrong. We didn't draw another land. But look on the plus side. Next turn, if the same thing happens, I can Madness my Senseless Rage. How lucky is that? It's like extra value. Perfect. Alright, you are convicted, Mr. Killer. Yep, make some 1/1s, sure. That is fine. Okay. 2. My opponent has a follow-up. True-based answer, sure. So I may just hold up dual shot until he goes to equip this thing. Instead of playing out my Convicted Killer. Seems bad, but just makes my opponent use up his mana in an unfavorable way. Alright, he opts not to do that anyway, so. Got a 4-drop. Chaplain. Now we're really sad that we did that, but my Convicted Killer can still trade with them, or see, like, this is just so bad. But this thing still trades with the Chaplain next turn, even if he suits it up, assuming my opponent doesn't have a dead weight. Of course they do. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? And my opponent gains 1,000,000. I take 1,000,000. And now I'm in a position where I don't want to be, where I may have to use my Castigator in a defensive fashion. Or I can just do this and could suit it up in case my opponent has like a strength of arms. Because I can, if he uses strength of arms on it, then I can suit up an unruly mob next turn if I really want to. Yeah, I think we'll just hold off on that. Another deadweight. Let's see it. You got 2, so you must have 3, right? Alright, let's see the strength of arms. Nope. Alright, he's just gonna make some spirits, probably. He is indeed gonna make some spirits. So again, I'm in a position where I may have to use this Castigator defensively, which is the worst kind of position to be in. I think that's what I'm going to do here. And if he binds this with Moon Silver, that is exceedingly bad for me, because I have no way to sacrifice my Castigator. Sure. Alright, this might be the game. This might be the game where this card loses me the game. Got spirits? Yes, you do. You've got spirits. And some more spirits. Maybe. Rancid Rats. Alright. Okay. This is just too fun. Get punished hard next turn, but that's okay. I'm just dead next turn as it is. My opponent gets to at least hit me for 8, assuming they don't have a pump spell. which, let's be honest, they probably have a pump spell. Sure. Muy dead. Well, this game could have gone infinitely better. And called it when I drafted this card, but card is going to be the death of me. Just sped up my clock by an infinite amount. But what can you do? That's what I get for choosing to play mythic rares with crazy downsides. Bam, got me. GG's. Well, that was miserable, but you know, we learned some things. We learned draft pump spells because they're sweet, and we learned that I should trust my judgment when it comes to Goldknight Castigator and just say no. Just say no, kids. Because as sweet as it sounds to say, oh, I'm just going to play this the turn that I'm going to win as a 4 haste guy in the air, there will come a game where you have to play that card defensively, and that is the game that you are going to lose horribly. Because if you're trying to keep up while this thing is on the board, you are losing. You just cannot maintain parity. Just too hard. But such is life.